mentioned that it will be a partial payment. Now, clients would definitely want 100% back, 100% of their funds back. How would you then assess if there's other payment toward these claimants?
It is important to understand that the amount which has been determined to be valid by the liquidator is not necessarily the amount which would be paid. It is simply the amount of the claim which has been accepted as a valid claim against Choice Bank. The actual amount to be paid to the claimant would be based on several factors. The primary factor would be monies available for distribution. There are costs, there are expenses, there are a significant number of lawsuits, and those will all have an impact on the final amounts to be paid as well as the timing of the amounts to be paid. That is also a factor that will contribute to perhaps the reason why there will be a partial distribution and not a full distribution.
Earlier you mentioned that there will be a partial payment, but are there any guarantees that will be given to the client that they will be paid in full?
Okay, let me clarify what I meant by partial payment. By partial payment, I was referring to the first opportunity for a portion of the total amount that the claimant would eventually receive. Now, in terms of what that amount is, I also clarified earlier that the amount determined to be valid is not necessarily the amount to be received. The amount to be received, we don't know yet. We cannot guarantee any percentage. That would be dependent on a number of factors, including costs, expenses, which all speak to the issue of availability of funds. As you might know, there will be losses from conversion of some of those investments and holdings, and those may ultimately impact the amount of funds we have available for distribution. In addition to the amount of funds available, there's also the issue of ranking, the priority established by law for payment. And the law provides, in certain circumstances, what would be the maximum amount to be paid for any particular claimant based on the priority of the ranking of that claimant. So that those are factors which may ultimately impact the amount each person would receive in relation to the amount established as a valid claim against Choice Bank.
How would they know what would be the final amount to be paid to them?
In terms of communication, the liquidator will communicate with each and every single claimant individually. The liquidator has contact information based on the claims which were submitted, and we will do it either through the website or by email or both. The email information we have will ensure that we reach out to each and every claimant and advise of the decision of the liquidator in relation to their claims. We will do so with sufficient time, and we will also advise the claimants what they may do and how they may appeal that decision if they're not satisfied with the result or the determination of the liquidator in relation to their particular claim.
Coming to the conclusion of how much will be paid, what are some of the options payment will be made to these clients?
The law provides for the central bank to prescribe the procedures for making payments and settlements. Accordingly, it will be based on those procedures that the liquidator will determine how payments will be made to the individual claimants. Whether through wire transfers or otherwise, the liquidator will be guided by those procedures prescribed by the central bank.